Okay guys, in this video I'm going to explore some of the DNS terms and concepts. While working with the DNS, the most fundamental concept that you come across is zone. A zone is an entity that stores the records about the objects that it manages. The DNS server supports the following three types of zones, namely primary zone, secondary zone and the stub zone. As the zone holds the records, some of the records are start of authority record, name server record, alias record, mail exchanger record, pointer record, address record and the 4A record. So now let us discuss about each zone. The first one is the primary zone. Primary zone in the DNS server is the read-write copy of the DNS database. One DNS server can have only one primary DNS zone. Since the primary zone of the DNS server is the read-write copy of the DNS database, it must be kept at a location where it remains physically protected from attacks and remains safe from the internal or external network trees. The next is secondary DNS zone. Secondary DNS zone is read-only copy of the DNS records. This means that DNS records cannot be added directly to the secondary DNS zone. The secondary DNS zone can receive the updated records only from the primary DNS zone. Unlike primary DNS zone, where only one copy of the zone can exist in entire DNS server, whereas we can have up to 255 secondary DNS zones, where each secondary zone can receive DNS records update from the same primary DNS zone, and none of the secondary zone can register the DNS records on its own. So the last is your stub zone. Stub zone is the new feature of the DNS in the Windows Server 2003. It is also a read copy of the primary zone. So the administrators cannot manually add, remove or modify the resource records in it. So what is the difference between the secondary zone and the stub zone? Secondary zone contains copies of all the resource records, that is the SOA record, NS record, A record, 4A record, exchange record, etc. Whereas stub zone contains only three resource records, namely start of authority record, name server record and the A record. And some of the terms used in the DNS service are the forward lookup zone and the reverse lookup zone. What do you mean by forward lookup zone? Forward lookup zone will locate the IP address on the basis of the fully qualified domain name provided by the user, whereas the reverse lookup zone locates a host name on the computer network corresponding to a specific IP address by using the DNS service. Thank you guys.